Every 3 seconds, somewhere in the world, a person falls for a phishing attack. Not a hacker breaking through walls of code. Not some sophisticated zero-day exploit. Just a simple email, a fake login page, and a moment of distraction, and suddenly an entire company's data is gone. Welcome to CyberShield Daily. In the next 10 minutes, you are going to learn exactly how phishing attacks work from the inside out, why even smart, security-conscious people fall for them every single day, and the specific red flags that most people completely miss. And here is the part that will genuinely surprise you: the most dangerous phishing emails are not the ones that look suspicious. They are the ones that look perfectly normal. Stay with me, because that detail changes everything. Let us start at the beginning. Phishing as a concept is older than the modern internet. The term itself dates back to the mid-1990s, coined by hackers who were phishing for AOL user credentials using fake messages. They replaced the letter F with PH as a nod to an older hacking culture called phreaking. It was crude back then: mass emails with obvious spelling errors, promises of lottery winnings, requests from Nigerian princes. Most people learned to laugh at those early attempts. But the attackers did not stay primitive. They evolved. By the 2000s, phishing had become an organized, profitable criminal enterprise. By 2010, nation-state actors were using phishing as a primary tool for geopolitical espionage. The 2016 attack on the Democratic National Committee, one of the most consequential cyber attacks in American political history, began with a single phishing email. One click. One compromised account. History changed. Today, phishing is the #1 delivery mechanism for virtually every category of cybercrime. According to the 2023 Verizon Data Breach Investigations Report, over 36% of all data breaches involved phishing. The Anti-Phishing Working Group documented more than 1.3 million unique phishing sites in a single quarter of 2022 alone. This is not a niche problem. This is the backbone of modern cybercrime. So how does it actually work? At its core, phishing is a social engineering attack. It does not exploit your software. It exploits you, your habits, your emotions, your trust. An attacker crafts a message designed to trigger a specific psychological response, usually urgency, fear, curiosity, or authority. That response overrides your critical thinking. You act before you think. And that window, sometimes just 3 seconds of impulsive behavior, is all an attacker needs. The most common form is email phishing. An attacker sends a message that appears to come from a trusted source: your bank, your boss, Amazon, Microsoft, the IRS. The email creates a sense of urgency. Your account has been compromised. Your package could not be delivered. You owe a tax penalty. Click here immediately. The link looks legitimate. The logo looks real. The email signature looks professional. You click. You enter your credentials. And they are gone. But here is what nobody talks about: the attackers are not just guessing anymore. Modern phishing campaigns use publicly available data to personalize attacks with surgical precision. Your LinkedIn profile tells them where you work and who your manager is. Your company website tells them your email format. Your social media tells them what services you use. Within an hour, an attacker can craft an email that references your actual boss by name, mentions a real project you are working on, and uses the exact formatting your company uses internally. That is called spear phishing. And it has an average success rate nearly 3 times higher than generic phishing attempts. Above spear phishing sits whaling, attacks specifically targeting executives and high-value individuals. A CFO receiving what appears to be a legal subpoena. A CEO getting an email that looks like it came from the board. These attacks are crafted over weeks of research. The FBI estimates that business email compromise, a category closely related to whaling, has caused over $50 billion in losses globally since 2013. $50 billion. From emails. Then there is smishing, which is phishing via SMS text message, and vishing, which is voice phishing conducted over phone calls. Smishing attacks have exploded in recent years because people are generally less suspicious of text messages than emails. You get a text that says your bank account is locked. There is a link. The link goes to a pixel-perfect replica of your bank's website. You enter your details. You just handed over your credentials to a criminal. Phishing is even more psychologically aggressive. An attacker calls you directly, often spoofing a real phone number from your bank or a government agency. They speak with authority and confidence. They know your name, your last 4 digits, sometimes even a recent transaction. The social pressure of a live conversation makes people far more likely to comply. In 2020, a group of teenage hackers used phishing to compromise Twitter employees, gaining access to accounts belonging to Barack Obama, Elon Musk, and Apple, all through phone calls. This is the halfway point of our journey, and we have only just scratched the surface of how sophisticated these attacks have become. Now let us talk about what actually makes phishing so devastatingly effective from a psychological standpoint. Security researchers at Stanford University found that 88% of data breaches involve human error. Not software failures. Human beings making split-second decisions under pressure. Attackers understand cognitive psychology better than most people realize. They exploit something called authority bias, our deeply ingrained tendency to comply with figures of authority without questioning them. An email that appears to come from your company's IT department telling you to reset your password immediately triggers compliance rather than skepticism. They exploit scarcity and urgency. Your brain perceives time pressure as a threat, and under threat, your prefrontal cortex, the rational thinking part, takes a back seat to your amygdala, the reactive part. You stop analyzing. You act. They also exploit familiarity. Modern phishing kits can clone an entire website in minutes. The visual similarity between a fake page and a real one is often indistinguishable to the naked eye. Studies have shown that users spend an average of less than 2 seconds deciding whether a web page is trustworthy. 2 seconds against a professionally crafted deception is simply not enough time. So what are the actual red flags you need to train yourself to spot? First, examine the sender's email address carefully, not just the display name but the actual domain. An email that says it is from PayPal support but originates from paypal-secure-alerts.com is a fake. Second, hover over every link before clicking it. The displayed text and the actual URL destination should match. If they do not click. Third, be deeply suspicious of any communication that creates urgency or threatens negative consequences for inaction. Legitimate organizations give you time to respond. Fourth, and this is critical, look for subtle visual inconsistencies. Slightly off-color logos, mismatched fonts, low-resolution images, unusual spacing in text. These are signs of hastily assembled fakes. Fifth, be wary of attachments, especially anything ending in .exe, .zip, .doc, or .xlsm. These file types are among the most commonly used to deliver malware payloads. Sixth, check for grammar and phrasing that feels slightly unnatural. Attackers often use translation tools, and the result is language that is technically correct but tonally off. Organizations that implement regular phishing simulation training reduce click rates on actual phishing emails by up to 70% according to research from Proofpoint. That number is staggering. Training works. But the training has to be continuous because attackers continuously evolve their techniques. A workforce that passed a simulation 6 months ago may be completely unprepared for today's AI-generated phishing emails, which now produce flawless grammar, perfect tone matching, and contextually aware content that would fool virtually any previous detection method. Multi-factor authentication remains the single most effective technical control against the consequences of phishing. Even if an attacker steals your password, MFA means they cannot use it without a second verification factor. Google reported that mandatory MFA for its employees resulted in 0 successful account takeovers from phishing for over a decade. 0. That is the power of layering your defenses. The broader implication here is this: phishing is not a technology problem. It is a human problem amplified by technology. Before you go, if you learned something valuable today, hit that like button right now. Subscribe to CyberShield Daily for a brand new video every single day. We will see you in the next one.